Hello, Alleghany AJAM guitar students. Going to have a little bit of a recap today. Just some ideas that we've worked on, of course, chords and scales and arpeggios, all kind of stuff like that. Just some right hand pick technique and some left hand, a few songs, just a few things to think about. First of all, let's just hear our the open strings of the guitar. There's your low 6th string E, 5th string A, 4th string D, 3rd string G, 2nd string B, and the open E there. You got two E's, a high and a low. And your tuning checkpoints, remember, is the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Gives you that unison. Great place to slide to. We'll do a little work on 2-string picking in a second. The 4th fret's the one exception. On the 3rd string, the 4th fret. 1 fret back to check that 2nd string open, a B note. And then back to the 5th fret on the 4th string. Gives you a G, the open G. 5th fret on the 4th string and the open 3rd string, unison. And then the 5th fret gives you a D. 5th fret on the 5th string gives you the open D string sound. 2 Ds on 2 different strings, a unison. And then we have the 6th string too. And an octave would be like the 3rd fret 1st string, a high G and a 3rd string. A high and a low is an octave. They're 12 frets apart, which kind of gets us into just a basic thing to think about, a scale on 1 string. Of course, if you just go open, we'll do an E. And the whole step is 2 frets. Remember, half step's 1 fret. Open, 2, 4, 5. And then you got 3 more whole steps. Whole, half. So 2 1/2, 3 1/2. So a really good thing to start working on just for your pick, if you're using a pick. And remember, we can talk about finger picking a little bit today too. But just say if you have it to get good, maybe the 2nd string could be a drone. And let's just think about 2 strings. When you're picking 2 strings, when you pick, so I'm going to pick the 2nd string and then the 1st string. I'm going to pick down on the 2nd and up on the 1st. It's kind of like you're outside the 2 strings, right? You're knocking on the door from the outside, right? Down, up, 2 and 1 string-wise. You're on the outside of the strings. And now, say I'm picking the 1st string and then the 2nd, it's like you're on the inside of the strings. Down on the 1st, up on the 2nd. You're in the strings now. You're in the strings, between them. So between them and outside of them. So a really good exercise, just thinking about scale on the E string from an open string there, is to make that, maybe say the 2nd string, I'll pick that down on the 2nd, up on the 1st, and think of my 2nd string as a drone, and put a scale on the 1st string. Check it out. Just stay there a while, half step, whole, half. The drone kind of takes over there, so what you probably would really want to do is pick that 1st string and do the inside the strings pattern. Check that out. So now I'll pick down on the 1st string and up on the 2nd. Then the drone comes after the melody, which would be a better idea. Listen, see what that sounds like. Maybe stay there a few times. That works much better, doesn't it? In between the strings. Half step. Whole. So you could do it real nice. You have a low E too. So what you could really do patterns with the first 2 strings and the low string. You could kind of jump over there. Just try maybe the outside strings. Try that. Thinking of 2 strings. I'm picking the 6th string down and up on the 1st. And maybe use the low string for your scale. Well, that'll be cool. I have a drone high and a movement low. So check that out. Sounds cool. So the thing about the scale, if you know where you are in the scale, that 2nd string is kind of starting like the 7th fret, 2 wholes and a half. So you can work that open, 2, 4, 5. So just start thinking about, basically on the guitar, playing a scale on 1 string and then crossing the strings. I'm just going to do a couple of scales just for you, because you get used to what it sounds like, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, you know, that kind of pattern. So I'm saying an E scale, low, open, 2 whole steps, and then you could change, instead of doing that 5th fret checkpoint, you go to the next string open. There's your half step, whole step, and then you'd have to go 2 frets to get the next step, so it's going to be the 1st fret on the 4th string. And a half step at the top, always a half step at the top. So just try to find a scale when you start, and you'll hear if you go the wrong fret, you'll know it's wrong. Right? Remember, 2 wholes and a half, 3 wholes and a half. Let's try that on the A string. Starts out the same way, same pattern all the way through. You got that back 1st fret note. Nice. And that's where if you played a different chord in the key of A, you'd have an E chord to an A. Try it on the D string. Here it gets a little different because of the tuning checkpoint. It's the 2nd fret for that half step maneuver. Might as well try it for the G string. Now you got the 4th fret exception there, so it'd be the next string. Half step. So try that, and let's play a G chord, say, and try doing a scale from there. 3rd fret, open 5th, whole step, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open next string, whole, you need another whole, 4th fret, and then you can do the... So I want you to start playing with your scales, because there's your melody comes right out of the scales and your chords too. Let's look at chords for a second, because I gave you a sheet with 5 different keys. I'm going to review that just for a second. I know you have your sheet to refer to, but a good way to practice those is just think of, we'll think of an easy song in a minute. But let's just do a C chord in the key of C, and it's like the 1, 4, 5. Remember, I did this for the banjo people, just the hand, thinking of the musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, starting over. And remember, there's a half step, just like your first string on the guitar is E, and your 1st fret would be F. It's a half step between E and F. And the 2nd string, B, half step to the C. So that's good to know. Half step between E and F, and the same thing, B and C. So if I'm playing a B way down here, and I need a C, it's going to be 1 fret. Same thing with this low, of course, E, F. So remember, B to C is a half step, and E to F is a half step, just like the piano is back-to-back white keys without a white key in between. I mean, without a back-to-back white keys without a black key in between. So just remember that. You can look at a piano and see it really clearly. But it gets handy when you're moving chords around. So let's do a C chord. And the 1, 4, 5, just think C, D, E, F, and G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, D, E, F, and G. So C, your F chord. Just let you hear what they sound like, and your G chord. And then whenever you do your G or your 5 chord, always see if you can remember how to make a bluesy G out of that. You got to lower that high G down a whole step, 2 frets. So that's good at this practice at C, F, and G, and maybe make it a G7 too. And then from there, go back to your G's. Then you stay, okay, I'll think in the key of G. We'll just go around the 5 keys. So G, you go from G to C to a D. And then you might try to make that a D7. Right? So that's G. C, D, and make it a D7 if you like. I'm just kind of picking each string. Right? One more time, G to C. That's the 4 chord, and the 5 would be D, or a D7. Whenever you see 7, that means it's bluesy. Then do the key of D. D, what would it be? G and A. Cool, and you can make A7 by taking that 3rd string down. Or some people bar it and get a bluesy note on top. Bar 2 and get that 3rd fret 1st string. So, right, that's the key of D. G and A, you hear it's the same progression in different keys. Beautiful. And then stay in A and do the key of A. 4 and 4, 5. A. What would it be? D and what? E. Right. And you could get that, take that 4th string down to open 2-finger E7. That's a great sounding key. You get kind of strummy or pick and move. You could also reach that little finger up and get a bluesy note on that 3rd fret. A little bit of stretch, but sounds good. Okay, right? So you're in E there. Now let's do the last key would be the key of E. E to A and B7. That's our B. B7 is kind of handiest chord there, so we might just go right to the 7 chord on E. So you got the 5th string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and 1st string, 2nd fret, and you're putting that 1st finger on the 1st fret on the 4th string. And on that chord, you can always dance the bass if you like. It's kind of a nice, that's a great sound. E, A, and B7. So, practice your keys that way. C to F to G, stay on G. G to C to D, stay on D. D, G, A, stay on A, D, E, stay on E, E, A, B7. Right? And back to E. That's 5 keys that are most popular keys in songs, and a lot of fiddle tunes, of course, are in G, C, D, and A. So let's just think of, say, a song like something like "Get Along Home, Cindy." Just a simple song, but work on, of course, your bass notes. You want to think about the way your bass notes work with walking and doing that scale. Say we did an A scale or D scale, say, to 2 whole steps start the scale out. So that's going to be a nice place to walk down from. You can do that little walk for D. That's the bottom of the scale, right at the bottom, at 2 whole steps. And the same thing you could do for A. And you could also go your down bass walk, excuse me. If you walk down to A, you can also use the same notes going back up to D. So let's just try D. We'll walk down to A on the 5th string, 4, 2 open. And we'll walk back up on that same string, reverse the procedure. And guess what? We can walk up to G there. Kind of makes you want to cry, so pretty. Here's the A walk, and you could also add more notes in between. Doing a pick strum style, picking a bass and maybe strumming 2 or 3 strings high. Remember, you can kind of strum when you're doing an A or something. You can kind of strum, not even strum the high string, kind of do the middle strums. You got middle strums or high strums. That sound very different. High string strumming, middle string strumming. So it depends on what sound you want. Let's do a little bit of Cindy, just in a. You ought to see my Cindy. She lives away down south, and she's so sweet. The honeybees, they swarm around her mouth. To G, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Back to G, get along home, Cindy, Cindy. To A, I'll marry you someday. Oh, I wish I was an apple hanging on a tree. And every time my Cindy passed, she'd take a bite of me. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Oh, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Oh, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. So what happens, that's a great song that uses all 3 chords. So what I recommend is you take that and play it in the other keys. You know, say we tried it in E, it's only a step different, but we sound very kind of more bluesy. You ought to see my Cindy, there's E. She lives away, B7 down south, E to A. She's so sweet, the honeybees, they swarm around her mouth. A, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Oh, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. So a little more bluesy in that one you could get. That sounds, and you have 5 keys there. So I'd try that song in different keys and you know, see which key you'll be able to be ready for some singers that say, oh, I can't sing that in D. Could you bump it up to E? Say, no problem. I know my 1, 4, 5 there, right? Pretty cool. And just think about making those chords bluesy. You know how to make a chord bluesy. You take a D, and if you can just know where the D is, you just take it back a whole step. You can kind of walk that note between if you like. That makes it D to D7. Whenever you see 7, it's a bluesy chord. Same thing for G. And when you have a chord like C, you have to go to the next string, that 3rd string little finger. Wind up, just a reminder, remember we did a little bit of Don't Let Your Deal Go Down to go around a little more ragtime progression. Remember we were in like the key of G, and it went down. If you use all 7 chords, you go down to that E chord and make it E7. And we did an A7 and a D7, and you're back to G, remember? And you get that nice, so that's a good way to practice your 7 chords. Do a little verse of that. Well, I've been all around this whole wide world. I've been down to sunny Alabama. My mama always told me, son, don't let your deal go down. Don't let go down. Never let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down till your last gold dollar is gone. So try those chords, you know, work on your scales, think about your pick technique, and just review a lot of songs you already do. Listen to YouTube. If you have favorite guitar players, you know, check them out on YouTube. And the old songs, Mole in the Ground, the songs the old time people play, they're great for guitar, playing the lead and the chords. Try something like, you know, Mole in the Ground in every key. Okay, keep on picking. You're doing good, but work on just a good, clear tone and getting smooth changes in all those 5 keys, and you'll be ready for a lot of guitar fun. So see you out there on the picking trail, and enjoy your guitar. Thanks.